Teresa, we got another episode of Ty-Rant coming up.
Oh boy.
Y'all are kind of crooked here. Well, question number 1 from Jerry says, I notice you don't have a fish finder, depth finder, sonar on either of your kayaks. Should I spend the money and effort to get a new one or not? Well, that really depends on you and what you're doing and what kind of fishing you're doing, Jerry. And the type of person you are. I'm a very visual person. I like to look and see, and I kind of go by, I fish by instinct and by ear and by sight. Depth finders, I have always found, for me personally, that once I do install them, they're more in the way and they're heavier and harder to haul around than they do me good. That's just been my experience in the past. I have had a couple of them and I took them off immediately. I do have one sitting in the garage right now that I'm contemplating for snapper season, but other than that, I will not have one on there because for me, they're more in the way and more cumbersome than they do good for me personally. And I do fish a lot. I would say probably 80% of the boats that we see on the bank at the launches and stuff don't have depth finders. 20-30% of the guys have them fully rigged with depth finders. Question number 2, tips for redfish on the grass flats. I can get into specs neck deep, but I can't find redfish to save my life. Teresa?
What's that?
She's right here. He's having trouble finding redfish. Teresa, when I say, let's go catch some redfish, where do you head? What do you do?
I'm fine, I'm working.
Well, what do you do when you look for redfish? And then I'll tell them what I do. We pull up to a flat. We pull up in the marsh. Where are you headed?
I'm going to start out with gulp on a jig head. A jerk shad gulp on a jig head. And I'm going to just blind cast unless I see a tail or a back. When we're in the marsh, I'm looking for fish exploding on the grass or on the bank.
Are you headed to 10 feet of water? 5 feet of water?
No, a couple feet.
So I can tell you 2 key things she just said right there was smell, which is why she said gulp. Because redfish hunt by smell a lot. They have a really good sense of smell. And she said shallow. 2 key elements there. I'm going to say the same thing. I mean, if you really want to catch a lot of redfish, a piece of cut bait or a live bait is always going to outdo everything. That's not how I choose to catch them. Redfish are one of my favorite game fish, and I only want to catch them a couple ways, and that's it. It's the only way I'm willing to catch them just because I love it so much. And that is top water. I love to see a redfish explode on top.
Me too.
And I also love to sight cast them. It's one of the few fish that will show itself like a bonefish. It will tail back out of the water, and you can actually sight cast them with a spinning rod, with a small jig or gulp, or with a fly rod. So I reserve sight casting and top water for redfish because that's the way I love to catch them. Now they go by smell, like I said. If you want to catch bulls, live bait and cut bait all day long, even slot redfish, live bait under a popping cork, shrimp under a popping cork, you're going to catch them all day. Sight casting a redfish, tailing or backing, there's just nothing like it if you're into sport fishing.
So you're telling him how to catch them?
What you want to look for? Okay, so keep it stinky. Gulp is good. Maybe put a little bit of Pro-Cure on a soft plastic. Soft plastics are always good for redfish. Top water early for redfish. Always look for skinnier flats, marsh grass, oyster reefs, standing turtle grass, structure, more relatively shallow for reds.
It would have been important to know where he's at.
Yeah, it kind of depends on where you are, but I can tell you this, pretty much everywhere we're at, whether it's Louisiana, Mississippi, Florida, we start out early in the morning scanning for reds right along the edge of the marsh grass or on the shallow flats, and then we transition to 5, 6, 7 foot. You're talking about neck deep, like you said, for trout later in the morning, or we're throwing top water over all of it and all of it smacking. Question number 3. How do you attach your fish bag to the front of your Revo? I have these little bungees. Let me get one for you. Get them at Walmart. They're like 6 of them for $2 or $3. Very inexpensive, and I use these for all kind of things. I bundle my rods up with these. I just take one of these and I just loop it through the front little thing and then on the side there's some places you can attach it. And I attach these, you know, all around by the zipper in the back, and then I just look for a spot. The front one goes around the handle for me, and I tie it or bungee it on some kind of way. The side ones go back underneath and under the bungee that goes over the hood of the kayak, and then the one all the way closest to me usually goes in that little button that's by the sail mount on the Revo. And I just looked for a place to hook these and ice and stuff, so that darn thing would sit up there with no connection to the boat at all. So once you put any kind of connections on there, it'll stay. So that's pretty much it. You got any clever words of wisdom for these people for the Ty-Rant for today? What's happening in the 30 Mile Out compound? We got some paddle boards.
Yeah, we got paddle boards.
Talk to them. Let them see that pretty face.
And we've added paddle boards. We just got back from Texas. We had
Dallas.
to get them.
Get them.
We're trying to put together some stuff with Eris for the spring for a Texas camp out.
Talking about a Texas camp out in East Texas with Mariner Sails.
Yeah.
Are we doing a Mississippi thing or no?
I'm not sure, it's still up in the air.
Working on a possible Mississippi get together.
I've had so many things pop up in between now and when I was planning it. I'm not sure that it's going to be possible. We have some family matters.
Working, filming on the L2s today.
Yeah,
the L2, all the live water sports paddle boards.
Do 2 reviews, one of each.
2 reviews.
And we're trying to put together a trip to Fort DeSoto.
Oh, trying to go to South Florida. All right, well, you got it. There you go for your Ty-Rant for today. Y'all don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to get your paddles wet. Don't forget to fish every day if you can.
Go over to Patreon if you get a chance.
Just me and this little one here, so we really appreciate anything and everything y'all do, and y'all do support us well, and we appreciate it. Patreon does help, and all the links under every video, we put all the items that we use. And if you buy a Miradine or any of the stuff in the video on the link, that's our link, we receive a small portion of that, small portion. But if you're in there through that link and you continue to buy, it all goes back to us, so we really appreciate that. So people are always asking how they can support 30 Miles Out. That's 2 ways you can do it, through our links in the description to Amazon and through our 30 Miles Out Patreon. Thank y'all very much. We'll catch you soon. What? Where y'all at? Oh, over here.